cosmos wild and free. Romulans and foes we fight. Community, our guiding light. Battle anchor shift us soar. Reducing its heart and core. Galactic winds, they lead our course. Unity, our driving force. Unity, our driving force. OVC hunts OVC. Through the cosmos, wild and free. Romulans and foes we fight. Community, our guiding light.
Hey everybody, welcome in. It's time. I want to actually have a good conversation with everybody that comes here. Good combo. What I want to talk about is this month actually finally quality, or I wouldn't call it smoke and mirrors, or are we simply getting, those of us who are happy with it, getting too hype over nothing? I'm curious to see what y'all think. This is not a grading video. This is more of a measuring, barometer of community sentiment, at least my community, right? I can't speak for the entirety of the game. I am proud to have what I believe is the largest community in terms of singular community outside the game itself. But at the same time, I would love to know what y'all think. I mean, I can't know what y'all think unless I talk to you. So here's the opportunity to actually talk to you and see, right? Like this month, we've seen a lot added. Even for my low level account, which is what I have currently on the screen, I've seen a lot to, that has come in and changed how the game is. I mean, we talk for a lot of the players who are normally part of my community, or regulars, I guess you call them in the community. We talk a lot about how these new features like the independent archive building, the mastery system, but also seeing it from the flip side of that is how is this affecting new players? I mean, we have a lot of us who are on server 710 who have kind of restarted the game and are having fun. So a lot of us are veterans. There's a lot of new players here, but one thing we've noticed is how much the IA building, just as an example of things we're talking about this month, has drastically improved sourcing in terms of like, once you do the mastery, but also speeding up the actual sourcing of the loops and finishing the loops. The IA building has helped a lot so far, at least doing it with, the baby stuff, for example, the baby stuff for me being Let the Body Bay. I definitely want to get everybody's thoughts. Starting off with IT Bacon, just because the first name I see as I look over into the chat window for those who want to provide your opinions. Again, YouTube chat, that's where I'm grinding the opinions out of. We're just like looking right over there. Technically right over, it's right next to the camera, actually. But Bacon says quality for sure. Most importantly, the new things added do not seem to be buggy. That's the most important quality point for Bacon. Yeah, it's fair. Shiaton adding in, there are nice cool updates, but when I think quality, I think fixing year-old bugs like void nodes and system on spawning mobs. I'll be honest, Shiaton, when I think quality, that doesn't even enter my mind. And maybe that's a me thing, but it is also, should be pointed out that a lot of times, like if a Voyager system doesn't work, like what you brought up, that's generally going to be specific to your server, which is a problem that absolutely needs to be fixed for that server. And we need to continually call it out if we don't feel like it's being addressed, right? Absolutely. Not what I usually think of, but my perception is more built around knowing that, hey, content's going to come out. So my first is always, okay, was the content decent, right? But that doesn't make that the right or wrong way to view it. That's just how I naturally think of it. So I appreciate the other perspective. Good to see you, Rob. How are you doing? Christian says, happy with the quality of life update so far this month. And they have the Botany Bay Mastery unlocked, which means I have extra X-Borg tokens every day. Nice, nice, nice. Delurge, good to see you. Did you change your name? Okay. There are quality elements, but Scopely has to maintain it for it to matter long term. Well, sure. I'm not denying that. In fact, one of the things that I've preached all month long, and honestly, I'll just say the past month and a half, is features like the arena, features like IA building, have to have that same level of attention paid to them long term for them to remain a good thing if they're seen as a good thing. Now, 100% agree with that. The question more centered around, is it quality right now? Like, is this quality, or is it not? And we just feel like it is, comparing it to past months. I guess it's more the question, right? So So like N23 nails the question. Is this what a quality arc month looks like? I think that is, because what I want to do when I take this feedback is I want to hear your thoughts and then, really take that to the overlords and say, okay, this is what the players are saying. This is how they're viewing things. These are the adjustments that need to be made, right? Does that make any sense? Devin says definitely not quality. Adding Q as an officer is just ridiculous at this point. Don't turn the game into timelines. Won't know if this month is different until arenas. See if they fixed all the BS. See, Devin, I don't personally get that. The game's got 200 something officers in it. I mean, if you're griping at it from a lore standpoint, sure. For me, lore stuff like game lore doesn't ruin whether it's quality or not. That's just me. If for you, it ruins the month that Q actually multiple officers, that's cool too. I do think they tried to keep it semi-lore, but I mean, it's Q. It's Q. And technically, we're going to see other things brought in. If you paid attention to the, teaser trailer, if you will, or not teaser trailer, the main image for this month, you see other characters that aren't necessarily getting talked about a lot here in the first couple weeks. Simon, good to see you. Hi to the UK. I like the month. Just wish the arena was 24-hour, not 8. Yeah, there are very, I'll put it this way. There are very loud voices on both sides of that argument. Now, I'm not picking a side with that statement. Just saying there are very, very loud voices. And for me, the main thing I want to see from arenas, besides, matchmaking, continuing to get, Twitter with and trying to find that perfect matchmaking, for me, is to actually see it rotate at different days, different time slots, etc. Try to give as many people as possible the opportunity to participate. That's for me like a really big thing. Might not be the same for everybody, but for me, that's a really big point that I guess you could say I'm kind of stuck on. Like, it's really important for me for that to get more focus. And again, really curious to see what tomorrow looks like, because they have already said that there are multiple adjustments they've made, but now we actually see how they look like in practice instead of just reading them on paper. Need to actually upgrade this. Yeah, we'll go ahead and spend some Latinum. I don't have any. Oh man, at least I have missions that help give me Latinum, my away teams, that is. We go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna speed this up, make the Botany Bay tier 4. Working on upgrading the Botany Bay. Let's see what else we got. All right, Simon, good to see you again. Budget. Part of me feels like players are used to broken and money grab content. When quality content comes out, they try a little too hard to find something bad about it. I can see your point, and I definitely don't want anybody to feel like I'm attacking them by agreeing with that statement. But I do feel like there's truth to it. I feel like this game deservedly, let me be very clear, deservedly has created a very negative aura about itself. Like, I think the game has earned its negative reputation. Like, I don't think it exists for no reason. At the same time, I do think there is a group of people that no matter what this game does, there is a group of very loud people who are going to gripe about the game. And I think that just is what it is. Like, I'm not saying that their gripes shouldn't matter or whatever. I'm just saying that there are a lot of very, very, very loud voices who are going to gripe no matter what the content is at this point, because there's a level of frustration they've reached in the game. And I get that. This game absolutely can be extremely frustrating. 100% understand that. So, yeah, well, let's see what else. Again, everybody's thoughts welcome here. Brian says, I agree with Sheaton. The bug fixing should be part of QLO improvements. I'll add the Kishara artifact as another item that has never been properly fixed. Also, the zoom bug is driving me insane. Completely heard. King Gaza says they like the archives, but hope the next months will add more ship loops into the archive, like the Franklin, the with the swarms, Fisha and the Devore, Meridian, Stella, etc. That would be quality and a bigger ship grind limit. Agreed. Now, they've already said, and I talked about this on Twitch, for those that don't attend to the Twitch streams, number one, encourage you to attend the Twitch streams. If you're ever curious how to find those, you can, well, one, they're all over the place, but you can check them in my Discord. I always post when we go live. But I had a really good conversation with one of the head designers in game design last week about this, and really harping on, hey, cool, this is great for November, but what does this look like in January? What does this look like even in December? Star Trek Fleet Command can't leave these type of mechanics to die. They've got to continually work on them. And if they do, I think that is quality. Because what is the IA building? The IA building is meant to basically do two things. If you're this account, which is the level 24 account, it's made to speed up your progression to make what you would normally spend months working on get done faster, and then allow you to get the benefits of that loop done quicker. Flip side of that, if you're a higher level player, is to help reduce the amount of loops you have to do and still allow you to get the rewards from those loops. But like you said, there's only 5 ships in it right now. There's plenty more that can be added. And so if they stop adding these things, well, the IA building falls on its face, right? IA building falls on its face. Yeah, every time you say IA, think about your high level account. Yeah, well, that account is actually in the Epic account, but yeah, IA is one of the biggest and strongest alliances in Star Trek Fleet Command. So maybe I need to find and just start calling it the archives, but either works. Either works. Doge says, does the system locator work for you? Mine's been a bit of a mess since the update. System locator as in what? Like if it gets posted in here, still works fine. If you're talking about just things that get posted like in the chat. So, yeah. Rob says, I don't mind the Q officers or the archives and the new Chaos Tech, willing to wait and see how those are going to help the game. Hopefully they don't take too long. I would add this, just to throw in a little bit of my personal negativity into this month. If they would have left out Chaos Tech completely, I actually would have liked the month more. Comment if you agree or disagree. Look, Chaos Tech, and they did not hide this. Chaos Tech, to an extent, is just a copy-paste of Forbidden Tech. And by that means, it's actually better because it doesn't have the fail mechanic baked into it. I just don't feel like it's needed. I get it. They release new things to sell new things. Cool. I just feel like Chaos Tech is meh at best. And that's just my opinion. I can take it or leave it. And honestly, I'm not focusing on it. The only time I do my refines is because an event has made me have plenty of grind already. So thus, on my higher level account that y'all see all the time, I can do the refines. But other than that, I would ignore it. So I'm very, very I guess I'm just trying to be nitpicky here. But I think it would have been better just not having that at all. But that doesn't take away from what I feel are 2 fantastic updates, being the repair speed up and last but certainly not least, the archive building. Game says, where are the hostiles drop pattern disruptors? Northeast corner of the map near the beta sector. Northeast corner of the map. So I guess I can show you on this one. Obviously I can't explore it, but it's up here. It's dead content. It's completely worthless. Now, I did a video on like what you can take advantage of in here, like the bigger and faster concentrated latinum nodes, stuff like that. But the assimilated tech and the assimilated loop is a dead loop. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, there is that. Make sure. All right, cool. So who's chasing that ship? Well, good. And I can go ahead and send this out to do its grinds and finish up for the day. Got to get my dailies done. There we go. I'll just mine some data while we're sitting here. Mine some data. What could go wrong? All right. James says, and the grind for chaos upgrade stuff is more work than Q trials, and Q trials gives you access to more FTs as well. That's very fair. So I guess it just comes down to, will you chalk that up as like a loop you just ignore? Obviously, that's how I play a lot of this game, is I pick and choose what I want to do, and that often means that I completely ignore loops. Just straight up don't do them. Example, I don't do swarms on the level 24 account. Now, I will add, if they add the Franklin into the mastery section, I will probably go pick up a Franklin. But I would rather have the Disco get added in first. If Rev is choosing what he would want first, I want a Disco mastery. That's what I want before anything. But yeah, I mean, very curious to see what, if anything, gets pushed, added, etc. with these new mechanics. But again, I'm really trying to focus on y'all's thoughts. I'm going to be reading a lot of messages in today's stream. Throwing in with Dave, could you go into your Continuum refinery? Please explain the second option there. I don't know where to get what's needed for it. Thanks. I actually don't think I can even look at it on here. Let me see. Can I look at it on this account? Refinery, Continuum. I can. Yeah, I can. You're asking about the tech fragment. So you gotta get the Chaos Tech shard. And that is going to be just from, not a free play way to get the new Chaos Tech. I'm trying to think if there is even a way to do that right now. I think that's still something that's locked in the future. Pretty sure that's still something locked in the future. I'm trying to think if that is available in any way right now. I don't think it is. I don't think there is anything available that could help you with that at the moment. So The Hostiles is going to help you with the first pull, and then future further releases of Chaos Tech stuff is going to help with the second. Pretty sure there's nothing that does that right now, because that's going to be your overflow, as Brian's pointing it out. So that's just simply month one is an ignore. We'll see. December, maybe you start seeing people worried about that, but from mine, just gauging the community, I feel like Chaos Tech is kind of a DOA mechanic. Not that it's bad, just I don't see many people paying much interest to it. So Beam says they are reserving judgment on Chaos Tech, pretty obviously not finished baking just yet. Willing to wait a bit to see how it looks after they're done milking the upfront spending. Absolutely, Meme. That's what this month really is, Chaos Tech. And if we're talking about what's going to earn Scopely the most money this month, obviously Officer is always a way to go, but I think the Q Cannon, I'm very curious to see how this is selling, because this is the PvP edition. So very curious to see how many of the spenders are investing in the Q Cannon. And like I said, the only way to get a Chaos Tech, a CT this month, is if you purchase one directly like that, or if you get the one through the Battle Pass. But other than that, we're kind of in a holding pattern, which I think for a lot of people they're fine with. I don't think a lot of people are paying a ton of attention to it, but if you are, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, if you are paying a ton of attention to that, let me know. I don't know many people who are saying they really enjoy the Chaos Tech mechanic. But again, there's a PvP one that is, it's not as good as the Tantalus Field. Like, the Q Cannon by itself isn't the strongest technology in the game, as it were, but it is extremely good in tandem with things like the Tantalus Field and obviously your PvP arenas, crews, and such. So we'll see how that looks. And Bad Wolf, good to see you. It's been a while. I would assume that you get it. Again, that is as a pure spender mechanic. They do not expect everybody to get a Q Cannon. I mean, I would be shocked if they sold more than 7,500 Q Cannons. But maybe that's part of the point. Like, they know that that's what that is, and they're fine with it. Right? So, very curious to see. Let me actually look at the events on the main account that y'all can't take a look at right now. And Q Technology, I wonder if we could get a rough estimate of how many people have purchased the Q Cannon. With the Q Technology SMS, I wonder, you know what, we probably can. I will try to track that. I'll put that on my list of things to go over tomorrow and see if we can track that. But, let's see. I'm going to put that in my notes for tomorrow to track this with STFC statistics. Would love to see what that ends up looking like. But I think coming into the month, Scopely knows that that's it. Like, they know that that's the only moneymaker for that set, and probably not expecting a ton, which is also why they sold things to get your IA building up. So it was $100 to get your archive building up to like level 35, which allows you to immediately master the Botany Bay, for example. And if you spend more, master other things. But Roman, good to see you. Thank you for being a member to the channel, by the way. Hope your Sunday's going well. Both my teams played each other today, so I know I was going to have at least one win, but it was ugly for both. Happy for you. My team actually managed to snap a 7-game losing skid and beat the Atlanta Falcons, our division rival. So that has put me in a much cheerier mood. Yes, sports ball. Yeah, sports ball. No Peace Shield? Well, I'm online, Joe. Why would I need a Peace Shield when I'm online? If they hit me, I'm going to get a 10-minute one, and I can just throw up a shield if I want to. Why would I care? I'm online. Not that I honestly care about getting rated. I actually let myself get rated yesterday just because I don't care. Like, it right now, and I hate to say this, rating is a dead mechanic except for incursions. There's no point in doing it unless you just enjoy doing it. Now, it's completely okay to simply enjoy rating. If you enjoy rating, awesome. But there's no real point in rating because, well, you get so many resources you don't need to. I let myself get rated for 40 trillion resources. You know how many par steel I have? I've got like 75 trillion par steel in tokens after letting myself get rated and not caring. Like, the game has got to make rating worth it again, because they also spend like 4 hours draining me. I'm just like, yeah, well, there you go. But would I do that? Would I spend 4 hours rating anybody? Absolutely not. That's just not something I enjoy to that level that others do, which is fine. But but it doesn't hurt to get vaulted anymore unless you're higher up. If you're in the upper 50s or 60s, absolutely. You probably want to pay attention to your stuff. But the game just pays out so many resources now. I haven't cared about getting hit and raided for a while. You know, that's why I don't really have a shield up very often. And it says they have 99 trillion par steel right now with another 208 trillion in tokens. Yeah, see, again, like if you get raided, whatever. Now I would care if I got raided during incursions, because I would hate to be the guy that causes my alliance or my server to get ridiculed because I lost this incursion. So in that instance, absolutely. I want to make sure my shield discipline's good. I've started to care less and less. And this goes back to kind of the things I've been talking about throughout the year, playing things that matter to you, enjoying what matters to you, and little things like that have relieved the stress. But anyway, back to what people are saying. Reliance says, from equality, it's only relevant when you are a higher tier player, being 28 on one and 19 on the other. Game seems more designed for top tier. Sure, but then how would you acknowledge the building that just came out that significantly improves the grinds for older players or newer players? I say that running this from my Ops 24 account, my Botany Bay, my augment run is significantly faster from doing the mastery run. Yes, new content, like when new features come out, like Chaos Tech, it's only going to be higher level stuff. Like you're not getting a big piece of content that's going to come out that for level 20 and above. It's not happening anymore. And they actually talked about this in an interview with the VIP Discord last week. And they've said that several times. And I've said it several times. You know, new content is going to be 40 plus for a while. And then eventually it's going to be 50 plus for a while. So that would be my follow-up question for you is, how do you see little things like this, these quality of life additions? Have they not, benefited you anywhere? Have you not seen an improvement that you've enjoyed? Because I'm really looking forward to seeing how my Vidar is able to take on when I finally hit level 25 here relatively soon and try to move on to the next level. Also, hitting 15 now. Remember, when you hit every 5 levels of the new building, make sure you go and do your redeem again, because you're able every 5 levels to double pull, or I guess re-pull, and that way you can get more of your data shards and everything. So, hello everyone, welcome in user, glad that you're here. Dozer adding in, it's of no benefit for older players right now. I can't remember the last time I bothered with any of these ships in the archive. Super strong disagree. I guess it depends on what you define as an older player. Since most of the game is below level 50, like super majority, hard to say, because that's including older players, hard to say that it doesn't help older players. Now, there is a section of like super up tall players that it wouldn't really help, but it also isn't meant for them, clearly. But I can't agree with that statement. Just your opinion. Now, Slack says it's a level 69. Game appears to be aimed at 40s. If you're in the 20s, you're still a rookie. Need to focus on growth in officers, research, etc. And that is how they see things. Like, and howdy, good to see you, William. Glad that you're here. Enjoy having you around. And I'm trying to get a little bit of extra mining in here, because I am actually working on my augment faction while trying to get my dailies done. So, yeah, I'm with you, Wolfwood. Like, even something like the Monavine to me in the archives helps out all players. But again, that's just me giving my thoughts and opinions. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I forgot to do this before because we had just upgraded the Botany Bay, and I got to get it to tier 5. But slowly working through here, and it's significantly improved like that process. Now, you can argue that, hey, the Botany Bay isn't that important in terms of the loop, but I would counter with, if you're a new player, the main thing I'm looking forward to with the Botany Bay and the archives feature is the officer shards. That's the main thing right here. Now, I was having a conversation with a couple other players, and they're tracking saying that you don't get transporter patterns if you've maxed these out, which I have not been able to confirm myself, but I've gone and talked to with a lot of players about that, and that was a big thing that I wanted to get. But I'd also say, even if that is the case, it's still huge for lower levels, allowing you to get 5 rares and an epic maxed very quickly. Now, I still need to confirm that for myself if the mastery gives you transporter patterns or not. But even if it doesn't, I think that's still a tremendous improvement to the lower level gameplay coming in. Now, Tular is saying they have the IA Max for the Botany Bay, and they are getting transporter patterns. Bacon is confirming as well. So I had an alliance come to me today, them and like 8 of their members saying, we're not getting this. And I was a little bit shocked by it, but even if that isn't the case, I still think it's good. Now, y'all are countering. I like the counter. So I haven't maxed mine yet, clearly, so I haven't seen it for myself. But either way, I'm happy with it. Obviously preferring the TPs. But here's the simple way. The simple way to check that is always to go into your actual menu, see how many transporter patterns you have beforehand, hit the collect, and see if you get them. See if you get them. It was my understanding coming into this month, from what I was told, that you would get TPs. Then I had an alliance come by and say nobody's getting them. So let me just verify that. So let's see what else we got. William says, doing a pull of the archive now, no TP, but officers are max shit. Well, yeah. No, there you go. If anybody has theirs real quick, if you haven't done it, feel free to shoot me your screenshot. I was taken aback a little bit when that got brought up to me earlier, but I'm more than happy to follow up on that and figure it out, because I think we could agree, if you do max it out, you want transporter patterns, right? If you do max it out, transporter patterns, probably a must, I would say, to really push the value of this building. But we'll see. We'll see. James says, I suppose the screen could have lied, but I'll check. Which is why I brought up the method I did, because, not to be mean to Scopely, but don't necessarily trust all their moves. Don't necessarily believe everything they say. I like to verify for myself. It's that old saying, trust but verify. Harry says they can verify in 7 minutes. So in 7 minutes, we'll verify. For those who are just coming in, number one, welcome. Glad that you're here. Number two, we are going over the big question. Is this month actually quality? This is not meant to be the grading. We're not grading the month already. I'm just trying to measure where people are as we're getting in through the first week of this month. What do people think? Obviously, you haven't seen things like the quality of life changes. Supposedly, I'm saying supposedly because I haven't seen them, supposedly made to the arena. We will see that tomorrow. Things like the speed ups, the archive building. How are players seeing this first week? So, Fiber says, if Scopely told me the time, I would check my own watch. Again, yeah, trust but verify, right? And that only comes because they've made a reputation for people second guessing them, and that'll take time to overcome. I'll simply take time to overcome. Davis says, I'm honestly pretty cranky about Scopely in general, but I'd still say quality this month. Yay, question mark. Now the thing is, can they maintain it for another 2 weeks? Or is it going to fall on its face? Who knows? But thank you for your thought. Meme says, new building is low-key amazing for low-level players. Thank you, Meme. I've seen so many people talking about its high-level stuff. I'm like, no, it's actually one of the reasons I'm streaming from my low-level account, because it really, if you go through the math, especially the cost efficiency, anytime you see CE now, that's typically what they're referring to. I say typically because, hey, consistency is not a thing. But those are greatly improving how you progress. And I put this in the video the other day. Here, let me see if I can grab it real quick. This one. These right here, the non-specific bonuses are fantastic for all players, but imagine getting the ship repair CE in the beginning. Imagine getting the PvP Apex barrier in the 40s. Imagine getting the mining speed just flat bonus early on in the game. 200% bonus for all ships. If you're level 20, that matters. It matters a lot. The non-armada hostile damage boost of 300%. Imagine getting that in the 20s and 30s. That helps. And that's not even counting the specifics that you get for the actual loops themselves. This is going to, and again, hoping that they add more ships to this. This is significantly improving the overall grind factor of the early gameplay, as long as all the other ships get added. You still need the Botany Bay. You still need the Discovery, you need the Franklin, you want the Stella. Those all need to get jumped in and added in. But even with the 5 that they have, I think you've seen a pretty significant increase. Now, if your experience is different, feel free to throw it out. Sanders saying they're going Monavie first. Completely fine. Yeah, I'm with you. My logic in part was I wanted to take down the most expensive one first, which is the Voyager. It doesn't make it the best logic. It just made it my logic, right? So let's see. Bringing y'all's opinion. I'm trying to get everybody I can. Mike says, so far I'd say it's quality over quantity, but there's still time for Scopely to mess it up. Completely fair. Kishi saying, as Ops 36, I got my Metreon Cascade, went straight to my tier 8 Auger. Congrats. Also would encourage you to take that Cascade to at least tier 5. And if you have not already, keep an eye out. There are various missions and events this month for upgrading said things. If you're looking for timing things and wanting to, get maximum efficiency with your rewards. Hugh says, I'm going Monavine first because I'm still invested in that loot. Makes sense. I am one of the people, I have not mastered and finish upgrading my Voyager, even though I probably should have by now. I haven't finished doing that. So now I actually will do that. And the reason being, for those curious, I held back on upgrading my Voyager for a while because I wanted to keep the G4 ship parts. And obviously, once you take the Voyager past tier 7, it switches. So I had purposely held mine back for a while. But now I'm not doing that. Now I'm going to max it out because of the mastery system. We'll see how that goes. So, me talking about the building itself. Fair enough, I didn't even bring up the building itself in terms of on here, but you're all right. It also has got the yummy juices. Let me go ahead and speed that up. Bam. Don't let me forget my collects. But station module non-sigma resource CE, super valuable for later. But also our chaos tech level up cost. That's huge. That's huge. I know it's brand new, and me just talked about being on a waiting period on it, but still, all these things are adding up to what I think is a solid feature. Let me go back here and pull. Remember, once you do every 5 levels, you will get to re-pull this. So there's another set of active data shards. And all of mine are going to get thrown into the Vidar. On this account, they're going to get the Vidar first. I don't have it yet, but I'm going to get dumped into the Vidar as soon as I unlock it at 25 and start going down the rungs. Hey, John, great to see you. How are you doing? You mastered your first path, but the faction shop is gone now? Yes, once you master it, a lot of those things are going to disappear because you're getting everything from the IA building. Not everything will disappear. Depends on what exactly we're talking about. But yes, a lot of things are going to disappear because it's a mastery mechanic. It's something that we've talked about this game needing for years. Once you complete a loop, you'll actually be done with the loop. That's the point of the mastery, that you don't have to touch it anymore. You can ignore it now. You just click your claim all button to get what you need. Now, there are going to be exceptions to that, as there already are for those who have been paying attention. But yeah, exceptions. Robbie, you brought up another good point. Another reason that I'm doing the Voyager first is because of the cost efficiency for that summoning ability. Super useful for me. Good evening, Robert. Good to see you. Daggeroth, good to see you. Says, I remember a year plus ago, you were going on after the con avatar from the augment store. Did you ever get it? Don't think so. Let me go look on that account real quick because I have it up. I just don't have it on the screen. Did I actually ever go grab that? Let's see. Augment. Yep, I did. This is no longer available for me to grab, so I did in fact grab it. Yes, I do have it. Didn't even realize I had it, but I do in fact have it. Yes. All right. Can't decide between mastering the Vidar for the pull or starting a ship not yet maxed for upgrade efficiency. It's a great decision to have to make. But yeah, it is a tough one. I tend to lean towards what's going to help me master things first. Hence part of the reason for going after the Voyager. But as I said in my video, I don't think there's a wrong answer there for players, right? The answer is what benefits your play style the most. I think the Talios, Monavine, and the Voyager, all three have very strong arguments for why you should hit them first if you're a higher level player. I would say Talios is probably lower on the list for some players because it maxes out at level 58. And there are, what, 35-ish thousand people who that would then apply to, thus meaning there's a 215,000-ish people that it doesn't apply to. So, you got to find what works for you. What is your ops level? What loops are maybe you're behind on? Like I said, I purposely was behind on the Voyager. So I'm trying to now go through and I guess you could say correct, even though I don't feel like I made a mistake at the time. It's just the nature of how the game has changed. Correct that decision by now I'm focusing on the Voyager. So let me go take a quick glance. My Voyager is now tier 11. And the only thing that prevents me from mastering it now, or maxing it out now, is the fact that I don't have enough epic materials. The Voyager annoyingly takes epic materials there at its last tier. But now I'm actually doing that, whereas before I just kind of left it at tier 7. And now I'm sitting here scrambling. Crap, got to get this thing upgraded quickly so I get it maxed out. So it's, and that's just, I think it's a good change to the game when the game gives me a reason to do that. The course, it says, where is the drip for the new building? Great question. Simple answer. It's in your claims chest. Every day you get a claim for independent archive schematics and archive data shards. They're right here. And you can actually hit the little button here. It tells you what it's for. It's now part of your daily claim, which I can actually do this one here in 2 hours, which I hope I don't forget. Somebody send me a message to remind me. Big thank you. Now, Carrie has come back to confirm. Carrie, did you shoot me this in the Discord? Confirm we are oh, you did. Sweet. So, did in fact get transporter patterns. That's good to know. We were just talking about this where I had an alliance come and tell me they weren't getting transporter patterns. But let's go ahead and put this on so we see it. This is from Hamsam. Appreciate you, Hamsam, from sending this to me. This is the pull they just made. You can indeed see they are getting transporter patterns. So, that's good. I'm glad you were able to confirm what I thought was the case, but that's good. All right. Thank you, Hamsam. Really appreciate it. Been told not to try until 58 and can refine epic gas. Well, I can get epics now from various, like events or maybe. I'm trying to think of any of my pulls give. I think the Monavine pull gives epic 5-star right now. Let me double check that on the other account. But I can get epics now. It's just a very slow drip. Your 7-day and 30-day chests can pay out epics. Let me go back over here and see. Oh, I can't because I don't have Spock's. I don't have a community mod here, so I can't check the automated shipyard. But there are 5-star epics in a couple different places for me, even level 53. It's just a very slow drip. Very slow. So I wouldn't necessarily say you have to wait for the refinery to master your ships. You can do it earlier. But Bruce says, if I finish the Monavine archive and built to the Monavine, would the refinery for the Monavine return? I don't know the answer to that one, Rue. Don't know. That would be something that we'd have to test out. Or I guess I could try to ask game design, but don't know that one. Yeah. James says, I think it's a pretty generous drip to get the building through the early levels. If you remember, we did include like the information in the spreadsheet, like the estimated time it takes to level up the building. And I don't feel like it's that stingy. I know we're used to them being very stingy with some of those upgrades. I don't feel like that's the case with this one. I don't feel like they're very stingy with the upgrades for the new building. And this kind of goes to what they've been saying and what I've been screaming at them. If you remember, this entire year, I've been telling them, and I've been having conversations with game design, you've got to improve more than just the economy of the game, right? That isn't saying that y'all don't want more resources and mats, but they've been consistently improving the amount of resources and mats that get paid out in G2, G3, G4, etc. for years now. It's easy as a G3 player to max out an enterprise, whereas before it was impossible. Now it's just simply a matter of time. But that didn't help with officers, that didn't help with ship acquisition or completing the loops. The IA building is finally doing what Rev's been griping at the entire 2024, allowing you to speed up that. Now you actually have legitimate arguments for, okay, now it's easier to get into the 40s, easier to get into the 50s, because they're actually speeding things up. And that's what they've needed, more than just the economy. And I hope nobody hears me say that and thinks I'm saying, oh, well, we're getting plenty of uncommon, so we're fine. Always want more. Remember, one of my main catchphrases is more is more. They significantly improve that amount, and that's good. Grizz says, I feel like G2 uncommon is so hard to get in quantity sub 20. I don't necessarily agree because I just went through that process here. Is it slowish? Yes. Keep in mind that this account is not a spender account. Not a spender account. I did buy the extra builder. I did buy the extra researcher, but I don't buy battle passes. I don't buy the monthly packs. This is all just normal grind. Now, if you're trying to speed run 20 and below, you are going to feel a bottleneck. If you're trying to, get G2 done in 2 weeks, yeah, you're not going to get enough. But I think that's okay because there's not really a ton of reasons to sit at G2 unless you just want to. If you want to sit in G2, that's fine. You could, as a casual player, make it to level 20 in a month. Just playing casually, you could do that. But if you're speed running it, you will feel a little bit of a pain point. But here's the thing, that's fine because the game wants you to go up 20 plus anyway. There's not really a reason to sit in the teens unless you're brand spanking new and you're trying to learn the game. And in that case, absolutely take the time you need. But if you're like me, a veteran player, and you've done this before, there's no reason to sit below 20 for a month. Just speed run yourself up into the 20s. And why? Because once you do that, speed running in the 20s means your battle pass starts giving you 3-star materials. You can actually start unlocking things like the Devore, use of discovery, etc., taking advantage of that, getting the Vidar. where the loops really start. If you're a new player, take your time, experience the game. But if you've done this before, no reason to sit down low. So I was trying to tier up my jellyfish, and it feels so bad trying to do the last tier. Let me put it this way, Drizzo. Jellyfish, you're not going to use it in about a month. Like, you're going to get to the 20s, and you're going to use it at the very beginning, and then you're going to finally get another ship, and you're going to immediately go, well, I'm not using that anymore. Example. This is a tier 6 Vocalist. Keep in mind, I just took it to tier 6 today. Tier 6 Vocalist. Wipe the floor with any jellyfish that exists. Any of them. I got it level 22. I even did my Kira, like tier 5. I mean, keep in mind that I kept them low tier, so I'm not investing a lot of uncommons in them. I'm saving a lot of my uncommons for specialty ships. But that jellyfish is fine and dandy and strong, but as soon as you hit 20 plus, it immediately is outclassed. So even though I've talked about being the guy that talks about camping all the time, there's some times that camping just doesn't make a lot of sense unless you're just learning the game. And for that person, it's always okay. So Drizzo, if you're just learning the game and you're wanting to upgrade that jelly, more power to you. But let me tell you, you don't need to. Enjoy the jelly. You'll be fine. You want to move up. You'll be fine. Alrighty. Beam says building will be in the early 40s by the end of the year for everyone who keeps up with the claims, not counting paid BP, just the daily drip. And isn't that insane? This building, by the end of December, y'all will have in the 40s. That means that most players will have taken the building to their ops level by the end of the year. That is great sourcing. Now, Scopely did ruin the idea of great sourcing this month because they have great sourcing with the building, and then they did the Vindicator. Now, thankfully, they've improved the Vindicator, but it was just polar opposites, night and day of each other. But yeah, this is a month. And again, this is why I wanted to ask that question. Why I wanted to ask that question. Right? Like, are you feeling this month is quality, or am I just simply getting in my own head and overhyping things? And I want to hear people's thoughts, whether it be positive or negative. So Daniel says, I'm ops level 33. What's the fastest way to get out of the negative in factions? I can't seem to get below negative 2 million Klingon ramen. Hit hostiles, stop collecting your dailies, do missions. Those 3 things. That's your answer. One thing I find people do is they want to keep collecting all their stuff and not hit a butt ton of hostiles. You need to hit a butt ton of hostiles. You need to do the missions that will give you a little bit more rep, right? The biggest thing I tell people to do is start dual faction grinding from the beginning, which is what you can see I'm doing right here. I'm dual faction grinding Fed and Klingon so that I'm getting both their credits, both their rep, etc., taking advantage of their payouts. And the Klingons I'm actually using to get officer sourcing. And my Federation I'm using to upgrade the officers that I'm getting because I'm actually using the Federation officers. I'm using Spock, Kirk, etc. So, Walter, quit telling me something. I'm right here, dude. We're fine. Chill out. Chill out. Put in relevant questions. Don't tell me to shield my base. I'm fine. What is with people not seeing a base? Y'all are too diehard of this game. I'm unshielded and I'm fine. Nobody's hitting my base, and even if they did, I don't care. They're not taking anything of value. So, Vegas says just hit 40. Tomorrow will be my first arena run. Any generic arena tips for your level? Your focus needs to be speed, and specialty ships. I would have nothing but speed crews because at 40, you're not probably beating many people toe to toe. It is possible. Maybe you have a decked out Enterprise. Maybe you have a Forbidden Tech you bought. Maybe you'll be great. But generally speaking, a low 40s player, my recommendation to them is 2 speed crews. 1 on something like their Mantis to sting the big bad guys for their allies. 2, hitting all the things running the armadas. Now, if you have a good loot crew, as Burton is bringing up, you can use the loot crew again to help you run more of the armadas. That's kind of your focus point as a low 40s player. You're trying to get in there quick, hit the armadas, score points for your team, and support your team. Don't try to be the big guy. Come in there running fast and running smooth. That's your goal. That's your goal. Juan says, I got to 38 in the export mission right away and did not get the faction score. Yeah, if you just got there, you're going to have to wait till a reset. You have to wait till a reset. I have to wait till a reset. Have the Tala until level 25. You ignore the common ships. I could have done that, but I didn't want to. Let me tell you why I didn't want to do that, OAC. I could have run with the Tala, but it didn't cost me many uncommons to get my ships where I am, and I'm able to start doing my Armada loops very early. I'm able to start doing my Q trials, forms I have no problems with. No matter what I want to do, I can do because I at least picked up the commons. Not saying max them out, but I just picked them up just to make sure I could do all the things that are currently available to me. And then as soon as I get to my Vidar at 25, yeah, they're dead. But it just made it to where my life was a little bit easier. And you get the ships for free, right? Because you get the ships in the 20s from doing your research. It ended up working out for me. I could have done the Tala. I just decided I didn't want that level of pain, if that makes sense. I just wanted there to be, for me, a little bit of ease of use. Good to see you, Doug. How are you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Like right now, I mean, I'm grinding 30s, 31s without any issues, just doing all my dailies. And the Tala's not going to do that. Tala's also going to be more limited to warp range, which is another big reason to pick up something like a Bacchus and Akira. But you just don't have to invest heavily in them. You know, the only reason to do that is if you, for some reason, want to be the best PvPer at level 22. Yeah, invest heavily in them. But yeah, for me, I think it works out fine. And good evening, Charles. Great to see you. And I do need to go do my Q trials. Yeah, let's go ahead and collect these. Get those done. That's obviously going to finish my dailies out. I need to go do Q trials. Yeah, Romulan demoted me to enemy. I ain't scared of you, Romulans. Bring it on. I'll fix you later. But I actually do need to blow this ship up so that I can go do my Q trials. I need to go do those. And I'm just getting a little bit of mining in. I know, it's crazy. When are waves in the tournament come back? Well, waves just now wrapped up and they will be back soon. Tournaments is to be determined. There's not a set date. They're currently working on some changes to changes to Alliance tournaments, but they will be returning. What's your thoughts on Starfleet Q and the SLB? If you want to have the latest and greatest PvP crews, go after the Qs. If you don't really care, no big deal. If you want to stick with the PvP metas, go get the Qs. Server 10 here just saw an Ops 1 base. Is this the new normal or a glitch? I don't understand the question. I don't know what you mean, Gary. Also, how the heck did you just spawn out of nowhere? Did I just change reputation somehow? How did you just spawn out of nowhere? Why did you just spawn? Okay. Anyway, back over here. We need to blow this up. Where's my chaser? Let's go hit that so I can take a quick ride home. And then we can flip back. You did ever let folks disable/enable the reputation locks? I do not. No, I do not. I can get a brand new player on old servers. Simple. Either they open up the server to accept new people, which happens every now and then, or somebody moved their base over. Sounds like they just have it to where, for whatever reason, a new player got placed on server 10. That happens. So, I'm aware there was an augment spawn Daggeroth. That didn't answer my question. That didn't answer my question. All right, you got that done. Now we can go do our Q trials real quick. And, ooh, that one's a little beefy. What's this one at? That's much easier to work on. I just need to go grab Chin. It shouldn't be too hard. Seems very strange. Well, I mean, they've done that to server 20, for example, several times. Where they'll open it up to lower level players again. And you'll see new accounts popping in. And they do that here and there. I wouldn't call it like super common, but it does happen. So go ahead and put her. Okay, Buggy Game. I was just saying nice things about you. You just had to go and be a butt. All right, let me get this in. Wow, I got a critical success. Nice. I'll take the speed up. Those speed ups are worth their weight in gold press latinum at this level. All right, here we go. And I didn't even send enough. I was in a hurry. I didn't even send enough options. Be all right. All right, let's put this up here. We'll take on this battleship while we answer questions. This month is definitely more quality than the previous months. And while I'm really like the concept of building, adding another grind to replace the grind so it doesn't feel like quality over quantity. Well, what if you're adding in one grind, but you're literally replacing 5? Because that's what this month is doing. Again, if you had mastered the archive building, assuming everything was available to you, it's not 1-to-1, it's 5-to-1. I feel like that's, I'm okay with that. Now, granted, you have to do that every month, but I'm okay with it. Maybe. I mean, maybe I'll disagree, which is completely fine. For me, I'm kind of okay with that ratio. Now, I've already said that I feel like Forbidden Tech, I mean, Chaos Tech is just kind of silly. Don't see the point. Don't really care. Like, I'm not positive about it. You know, it's whatever. But I'll take that trade every day. Well, can you max the Voyager? 51? 51? I think it's both Voyager and the Monavine are like 51/52 to max them out. If Meme is still here, one of our knowledge nerds, he can correct me if I misquote there, but I think it's either 51 or 52. You can max out the Voyager and the Monavine. The Talios is 58, and the Vidar is, honestly, I mean, you could technically max out the Vidar at 25 if you wanted to go crazy. Do that pretty early. But, yeah. Ooh, getting a little bit bigger. Okay. How about this? I got exocomps. I'll do a baby one. Yeah, why not? 51 plus, however long it takes to scrounge the epic mats. Thanks, meme. Yeah, I thought it was 51. It's going to be how long you get the epics. Like I said, and we can flip accounts after I get done with this, but my big account, it's a 53, and I can max it. I just need more epics to finish maxing the Voyager. Chaos Tech seems really niche. Got an XO11 Monavine / ship level 1 PvP1 PvE1. Yeah. And again, this is month 1. Don't be surprised if you see more in the near future, right? And it's Meme said it best earlier. It's an incomplete mechanic. You know, you can tell that not everything is there. We'll see what it looks like in a couple months, but I'm just going to slowly collect mine, not really focus in on it. We'll see where it goes. At what point can you cheese the Q trials with PMC? Immediately. Like immediately. As soon as you have Pipe Mode Chin. I mean, assuming you've got Chin Max, etc., etc., etc. But Pipe Mode Chin or Pipe Mode E Data are the primary crews. Reminder, everybody go to StarTrekFleetCommand.com and do your mission keys if you haven't already. That's actually what I'm doing right now. If you're wondering why I'm starting to look all over the screen for weird reasons, go do your mission key collections. Help out your alliance. Help out yourself. Do your mission keys. I gotta wait 2 hours. Dang it. 2 hours till I can do a mission keys. But this is y'all's reminder as we're live right here. Go do your mission keys. You suggest they add 10 to 12 new territories? I honest to God don't think that's necessary, Patrick. I really don't see the point in doing that. I don't think you need that. I don't. I don't think they need 20 more territories. I don't think they need 10 more territories. I think there's plenty of territories. Did I say mission key? Yeah, I did. Mission key right here. This thing. This thing. Go collect it. If you remember, there's the weekly claim right here. And then also, if you have a Scopely ID, log into the website, StarTrekFleetCommand.com. You can do that redeem every day. For those that didn't know, here we go. Here's the website, StarTrekFleetCommand.com. I'm currently logged into this account, Horny Horn. Every day you can pull your mission key, and there's an AMS for this. Helps out your alliance. There's also an SMS, helps out yourself. So, reminder to do your mission key pulls if you haven't already. I'm gonna go back in here and do these pulls so I don't forget, because I'm trying to max out these officers as quickly as possible. You're welcome, Chow. Happy to help. Happy to help. Didn't know about the website? Well, you're welcome. See, if we can help people be better and get more things, I'm happy to. Love that. All right, I missed one there. And did I get a chin shard? I did. I'll take that chin shard. Looking back at how long you held a 49, would you still do it now? Yep. Yep. Would not change anything that I did. Now, does that mean I would spend the same amount of time? No. Here's why I wouldn't spend the same amount of time. Because the rate that you acquire resources and materials now is greater than when I was at level 49. But the methodology I had is still the exact same. I don't change the reasoning behind why I made any decision. But nothing changes except the amount of time that it would take. So, hey, another chin shard. I'll take that. Awesome. I think some solid pulls. Nothing tremendous, but I think solid. And, hey, we beat that one. Let's go ahead and see if we can do 3. We getting 3 today? I'm probably gonna have to repair after this one, but it'll be all right. Be all right. Looking back, oh, I already answered that one. My bad. That's something that bothers me a little bit. The mastery gap between Vidar and Voyager / Monavine covers a lot of levels. Hopefully we'll get some more for sub 50s. Agreed, James. Again, there's a lot of ships there. You've got the Disco. You've got the Devore. You've got the Sarcophagus. I know Sarcophagus is probably the worst special ship in the game, but Don't be surprised if it gets thrown into the mastery system. And honestly, if I get free stuff, I'm not going to complain. What if the Sarco mastery meant more ISO? I don't know. Whatever. There's still plenty of ships. And remember, this is month 1. They have said this is meant to be a long-term mechanic they invest time into. We'll see if that ends up being the case. If you'd like for more than the top 6 alliances with their buddies to get a territory. Well, that already is the case, Patrick. There's enough territory for about 15 alliances to get territory. Right? Now, your inter-server politics can make things difficult. But I don't think the game should release a mechanic or release an addition to the mechanic that takes out conflict. This game is supposed to be a game of conflict. It's supposed to be whether it's diplomacy, whether it's actual PvP and blowing each other's pixels up. The game should not take away conflict. You can already fit good 15 a lot. Now, if everybody took the absolute maximum, I think it's like Andy said, it's 11 alliances. And that's if everybody took the maximum. I don't think the territory should be without conflict. I think that makes it a bad mechanic. You know, you got to diplo or fight your way to get what you want. So, let's see. You don't spend so much time raiding as you did in the old days when the Botany Bay was the biggest ship to get resources. This is true, King Gaza. Not sure the point, but it is true. Also, I can actually mine with my Botany Bay regular maps. So I actually do have 2 envoys. Here's a tier 6 envoy because I have multiple. He is doing 38 an hour. The Botany Bay is doing 2K an hour at only tier 4. So the Botany Bay also gives you another solid miner to use as well for regular mining, in part because of all these bonuses that the new building is bringing in, making it a better miner. So, in the transporter pattern store, I have max Tindy and I have max 6. Who should I max next? That's a good question. For me, I'd have to switch accounts to show you because I don't have transporter patterns yet here on this level 24 account. But for me, I love the protected cargo officers because I don't like mining. I just want to keep as much as I can. So something like 3 of 11 is very valuable to me. Very valuable to me. That doesn't make it valuable to everybody else. Oh, how close did I get? That doesn't make it as valuable to everybody else, but it makes it valuable to me. Oh, I got close, but oh well. I think I still got, you know, a good run there in my Q trials. Good run there in my Q trials. And then let me finish my daily, so that's a W. Check my refinery real quick. Oh, I need to do this. Whoops. Need to do that. James Bond's going to have my head, me not pulling my refineries. Yikes. Red Nass says, I just hit 41 on my sub and my enterprise is killing easy. The capital system for easy events. Heck yeah. Congrats, Red Nass. That's good. That's good. I love that. Because the Botany Bay that I learned the Picard maneuver made the game in lower levels too easy. Nice. Now, because people might not be familiar with what you're talking about, Raj, here's your opportunity to be the teacher. Tell everybody what you mean. Also, just realized that my shirt's kind of see-through. Raj has been part of the community since he started playing the game like 2 years ago now. A year and a half? Something like that. Now I'm going to let you be the teacher. Tell them what you mean, Raj, because we do have some new players here today, which has been really cool to talk to those. Isaiah says, I just got my Vidar Talios and knew that I need to use my Vidar for the grinds. What tier should I start using my Talios? Generally, the Talios overtakes the Vidar around tier 3. Now, that might change with the new mechanic here of the building. Haven't tested that for myself, but I could see how it would change with the new mechanic. But previously it was tier 3 was what you were shooting for. Tier 3 was the changeover point, if you will. I mean, repair my poor Voclus. And let's see, can we upgrade this building? We can. Look at that. Upgrade that up to level 11. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up with my smart speed up button that I freaking love. Go do that over there. Love that button so much. Love it. All right, Raj says, it's when you fool the hunter in augment space or enemy space to stop chasing you. Okay, now Raj, tell them how. Tell the people how. Simon says, any more word on what the plan is for the months? This month's officer with the only one material schedule. I've got nothing to share. Simon. Dialing, good to see you. For free to play, which Q officer would you recommend out of the 3? Well, honest to God, They're really only for the PvP meta. So how invested in the PvP meta are you? And then the answer is simple, all of them. Because if you're invested in PvP, then you want the PvP meta, which means you want all the Q officers. If you're not that invested, don't worry too much about it. Just get what you want. You know, but they all are pretty similar in the style of how they work. Did I not hit the help button on that? Do that. So let's actually pull them up real quick. Obviously, I'm not going to have them on this account, but here's Starfleet Q. That's the epic. So you have this one, which is going to give you more Apex Barrier. You have the Mon Capitan, which is going to give you the morale that you need for said abilities for the Qs. You have Marshal Q, which is going to give you more weapon shots, which I do think is very valuable, especially at max. You have the below deck ability, kind of okay. Then last but not least, you have Mariachi Q, which is going to give you more ISO Cascade. All of these are very good as a PvP officer. All of them are good. All of them are good. How, into the PvP meta do you want to be? So, when do you think they'll add additional officers to the transporter pattern? I have no idea. All I can tell you is that it gets brought up a lot. But I have no idea when they will add anything, if they'll add anything. I honestly don't know. But it does get brought up. Let's see, I can do the mining laser. Curious how much that will increase things. So go ahead and do that and that. As you can see, I'm just working on upgrading this. And now I just need more of those. So tomorrow I can take this to tier 5. Whew, this thing's moving up quick. Out of curiosity, let's go check an ore node. Specifically, let's check the ore node that I was already looking at and see how much that changed it. Yeah, 2-2 now. That's better. That's better. All right. So I'm just seeing how Raj does as a teacher. It says you click away from the chaser on any point in space in the system, then hit recall and cancel recall immediately. The hunter will change his path. You must stay still until it stops blinking. Then don't kill the hunter and you're free to be in the system. Sorry if I made it confusing. I can't structure your sentence properly. I think you did an okay job. I think people get the gist of it by what you said. Can they add the G4 says G5 skins to the refinery? They can, William. I mean, they can. Nothing preventing them from doing it. Nothing that says they can't do that. So yeah, they could. All right. I think I have gotten everything here I need to do for the day. I'm gonna collect my boxes real quick and then we're gonna swap to server 20. If I can get all those dailies and stuff done. I'm gonna check my events real quick just to make sure I've done everything. Yep. Still need to do this. Still need to do that. Fine. I'm not gonna be able to score in that. That's all fine. Or good. Only thing I haven't done is anomalous phenomenon. Could. I could do that. That would take a while. That'd be a real pain in the butt. Do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? I'll think about it. We'll switch over. Just make sure I get my other account done first, and we'll think about it. Not saying no, just saying let's make sure I get server 20 taken care of today. We'll think about it. Hold on. There we go. Okay, pull 710 back up. All right, let me adjust this a little bit. There we go. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. All right, well, actually filling up the screen. There we go. Had this thing sized wrong. All right, now we're back in. Let's check what we got over here. What are your thoughts on the new Battle Pass mechanic? I love it. I've always liked that. So the new Battle Pass mechanic is literally just the Dabo wheel. That's all it is. It's the Dabo wheel. I love the Dabo wheel. Curious if anybody dislikes it, but I love the Dabo wheel mechanic. Now, I've always been a fan of the Dabo wheel mechanic, so that's not anything different for me, right? Curious if anybody else likes it, but I've always loved the Dabo wheel mechanic, so you could even call that a biased answer, because I've always liked that as a mechanic. So, let's see. I honestly have done a lot here today, but I need to do all these refineries. So let's go ahead and start that. If you're a fan of Dabo Girls, nice to know. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. I needed to know that, so thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Speed ups from Anomalous Phenom are good. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to do them here. But I haven't even unlocked the disco yet on the other account. Not that I don't need to. I absolutely do need to unlock the disco over there. I just haven't yet. If you're a huge fan of this VP style, good. Anybody else? Do you want to do the math? Yes, several people have done the math. It's actually been in my Discord discussed ad nauseum. But yeah, the math is the same. You know, there is some slight variations based on ops level and stuff, but short answer, yes, it's the same. Short answer is it's the same. Tina says, I mean, it's just letting you pick what your BP rewards are. Kind of nice because I never need crystal and can focus on gas and ore. And naturally, if y'all haven't noticed, events and BPs typically do pay out more in crystal. This is letting you pick what you want if that's not what you need. So let's go ahead and I'll just do my baby pull on this. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Yep. Is that a response to somebody who won a battle pass on the Twitch stream? Which, by the way, if y'all ever want to be part of our battle pass giveaways, we do them on Twitch. I'm very thankful that Scopely lets me give those away. We had 2 different streams where we gave away battle passes over on Twitch this week. So if you ever missed them, that's how you can find them. There's the link to it in the chat if you're ever looking for that site. It'd be great if they rolled it out across all battle passes, TC and Wave. I don't think it'd be as easy on TC and Wave because those aren't really mat and resource based. But the premise of what you're saying, yeah, obviously I'm going to agree with. I like having control. I like having control. Being able to choose what I want and what works for me. Versus, I think it's great. I think I'll absolutely be putting everything into gas. Okay. I think for me, I need ore more than anything, but I'm going to do my typical save everything to the end, which is just how I play. See how it looks then. But I like having everything also claimed all at one time as well. Just fun. I enjoy it. It's fun. Sometimes it's okay to just have fun. Did I forget to do my pulls yesterday? Because I have way too much currency. I must have. I'll go ahead and double pull all these. Because I clearly forgot to do pulls yesterday. I don't like things just sitting around. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all those extras because I made a mistake. Come back in here and we'll do these pulls. Thanks for answering my question on Discord about the BB Master issue. Of course, I try to answer anybody that messages me. If you shoot me a message on Discord, I'm going to try to talk to you. I'm going to try to respond. And if I can't answer, there are a lot of really intelligent, really experienced people in my Discord with this game and our other games. So, there you go and collect that. Done. And let's go through the 4,000 clicks. These are all things that I'm hoping, things like the IA building eventually take away from me having to constantly do. Be really, really great. There we go. Done. The territory. Need to do this one. Not really gameplay related, but that's supposed to be Old Man Q on the loading screen? No. That is from Star Trek Generations. That's why you also see the Nexus in the new systems. If you been paying attention, or you notice rather, paying attention is not the right way to word that, but if you've noticed, the Nexus is in the game now. Go take a gander at it at the first of the new systems. Let me swap this over to the disco. Let me go do my anomalous phenomenon now before I forget about it. Go. Galaxy view, and away we go. What hostiles do you hit for the new currency for the chaos control? All right, I guess I'll just show the new system here. The new systems. This is, if you've done your missions, the missions would have taken you here. Not that I'm trying to sound like a grumpy Gus for people asking the question, but this shows that people need to go through the basics of the missions and everything because it explains everything in the game. Okay, here's your Nexus. Looks pretty cool. But it's these new hostiles. Also, watch Rev's video. Rev's video explain that. Here you go. Not these, actually. Sorry. These are the Orion Syndicates. You need to go up a little bit to these first sets of hostiles, the assimilated ones. It's like the assimilated Corin class. And these are going to drop the Chaos modules. And as you go from here all the way west, all these hostiles will drop the new module. You don't like the sewing machine shape the new systems make when you put them together. If somebody sews like this, they're a bad tailor. Find a new tailor. Your sewing should not look like this, FYI. If your seamstress or your tailor are sewing your clothes like this, you need a new one. Future reference. Future reference. All right. Coming back after a year as a 32, and oh boy, lots catching up. Yes. And if you need help, Robert, you're more than welcome to message me or any of my peoples on the Discords. Love to help you out. We enjoy it. For Masochist. Anywhere when last terms come back. TBD, just like the last time somebody asked 10 minutes ago. TBD. There is no set date, but it is not gone. TBD. All right, what else we got? Any chance you can find out about Server 97 getting 6-star unlocked? I mean, yeah, message me, but don't ask me now. I can't do anything about it now. And if you think I'm going to remember after the stream, you're crazy, because I have 10,000 people messaging me all the time. So shoot me a message and we can talk about it there. So shoot me a message. But that is how you sew? Well, hopefully you're not a professional seamstress or a tailor. If you're doing your own repairs, cool. You can be like that as much as you want. But if anybody is a professional, no. No. So, I'm assuming we're going to be fielding a lot of questions on Alliance tournaments until they give us a date. Can't punch that high. What do you mean, Sethan? What do you mean? Punch that high about what? All right, let's see. I need to get this done. And I think that'll be my main event that I have left. I do need to double check my events. I think that's the main one. And how close am I to finishing? I am almost done. So my next reward for A9 Phenom will be my last one. Then I can bring that back home. Bring that back home. Reb is the most engaging YouTuber to his free-to-play community and pay to like. I do try to be, Rob. I don't. Like, I'm not great. I'm not perfect. I don't want to, boast and say I'm better than anybody else. But it is important to me to try to interact with the community. Now, that also means that the more I try to stretch out and answer everybody, the more difficult it becomes. And maybe I miss things. I think that's reasonable to understand and expect to happen. But I will always be a content creator. Even if somehow I keep doing this and I blow up and I have 1 million people, I'm always going to try to respond to as many people as I can. It's just that important to me. So, can't beat those in that system. In this system right here, what crew are you using? What crew are you using? So, because there are several that you can go to all the way down in Izanami if you wanted. The Chaos for higher level. The Chaos starts at level 38. Like, that's when Chaos is meant to begin. Starting right here. And it's meant to begin around level 38. So, that's when Chaos Tech as a whole starts. Air quotes, bunny ears, whatever you want to call those. That's when it begins. Me being level 33 is that, yeah, Chaos Tech is not meant for you, Daniel. Now, events can obviously be designed in bad ways that include levels they shouldn't, but Chaos Tech is not meant for you at level 33. Yeah. Do you think the Ceres event should run 2 times a month? Like what was stated at first? Personally, yes, I do. I mean, if you're just asking my personal opinion, yeah, I do think it should. And I like that event. One of my favorites. So, let's see. I think I missed the video on the new hostiles. Is there a specific ship/crew for them? Yep, there's a video. And there are several different crews. And it's variable because the 3 different hostiles are all different. As in, they all have different abilities. So your crewing might need to change based on which of the hostiles you're going after. Or there's methodology. So there's a strategy of punching up on certain style hostiles. Certain ones of these. Or punching down. It just kind of depends on which method works best for you. There's not a generic answer. And I know when people come to my YouTube channel, I know that's what they're looking for. And a lot of those simply don't have that as an option. Let me go grab the video real quick. That way you can, instead of having to hunt down and find it, I'll just go ahead and grab the video for you. 1 second. So it is the El Orion Hostile video. And here's the link. There you go. That video goes over why the hostiles are stronger than typical FKR hostiles, how they work, what different crews to try against them. And there is a lot of options there as well. But again, it's going to be really unique to your account. What works for you? What are you actually in range of being able to realistically use? And you can always, again, hit us up on Discord and manage that. So, you think Alliance tournament should run every month in between arcs? It's fair, Red Nest. It's not a bad opinion by any stretch of the imagination. So they're currently working on it now, rebalancing, working on events. It's not, again, just to reiterate, not been canceled. If they are going to cancel it, I don't believe that decision's been made yet. So we'll just have to wait and see what it ends up looking like. All right, there's my stuff. Yay, more relics. Sweet. Oh, and Meme, by the way, I just saw your comment in terms of reply to me on my Discord. And I'll be honest, don't even really agree with you as far as I'm concerned. So, but I get where you're coming from. Test spike data chain. Already did that, King Gaza. Already did it. Already did it. Last week. All right. What other questions, comments, etc. do y'all have? What else we got? What else we got? I'm going to try to get as much as I can for because I do have to put my daughter to bed tonight. Sunday night. That's Dad's job, is putting the daughter to bed. So, not a bad job, but who can she be a little brat sometimes? Let me go check my factions. I don't think I've done any of these pulls. I got to go do that. I still got to finish maxing out more Stellas. Kind of annoying, but I got to do it. And we need to go do more solos. Yeah. Transport pattern store getting updated? Nobody knows, Miles. Nobody has that answer. All we can do is continually remind them, which I bring it up. So, no idea. Let's see, anything in here? Nope, so I gotta wait for my timers. Waiting on timers. Waiting on timers. All right, so I got a lot of timers to wait on. And over here, I'm saving for my G5 Innovative Engineering, which will help with my ships. Although I am tempted to grab the Mirror Dust. I'm very tempted to grab that as well. And get higher rank. Correct, Keith. They already said that November, it's not running, that being Alliance tournaments. And the date of its return is TBD. TBD. All right, so we'll swap this back out. Not with that one. We'll do this one. And let's double check our events. We got 12 million Klingon unlocked. Negative. What Klingon crew is good right now for G3, G4? There's not one. Like, you're not going to use a Klingon crew for anything. Really. I mean, like, your hostile hunting at your level, Robert, is still Pipe Moro Chin. You know, your PvP, the Klingon crew's not going to do anything for you in PvP. So, yeah. Which max tier did you say take the Ice and Jelly to? Well, that depends. Do you have enough research to do the farming system? Like, you can turn the ISS Jelly into a Mats farm. Or, I think somebody, yeah, it killed my chaser because pretty sure I'm not getting any chasers. Am I still getting a chaser? Nope. Somebody killed my chaser, so I'm going to recall that. If you can turn it into a farm, then max it out. If you can't, you don't need it past tier 1. You don't need an ISS Jelly past tier 1 or tier 2 until you can turn it into a farm and recycle it. Which I have finally made it to where I can do that with the ISS Jelly. But until you can turn it into a recycling farm, you don't upgrade it at all. It's worthless. Then as soon as it can become a 4-star farm, then it has extra value. Mine is right here. I'm actually working on maxing this one out. so that I can take advantage of that. Speaking of, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this thing out real quick. We'll just go throw it on a node. And to assist it, we'll also give it, I think it's the Galaxy Exo comp. There's an XP. Yeah, right here. Chip XP Exo. We'll turn that bad boy on. And we'll go sit it right in here. And let it feast on some Texas enemies. There we go. We are getting all these ISS Jelly VPs. Armadas. Territory, if you want to augment the territory, the event. The people might even, you know, if it appears in an event store, grab them there. Armada chest being the biggest way for most people. Going through their Armada chest. And a reminder, I actually need to go pull mine now. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling some of these Armada chests. So that's yummy. That's nice. I still need to go run a rare. Scroll over here. Let me do my epic chest. This is the 5-star epic chest, but still, I'm gonna do this one. I don't know the next time I'm gonna do pulls, but go 5 Novas, yeah, blah, blah, nothing good. Okay, get our rare in. I'll just do a single pull on that because that's all I can do. And I'll work my way down. Do this one, do our big pull. I'm gonna skip over the G4s because now that I'm at G5, don't need those, don't want those. Do this one. Let's see if we get any ISS Jelly. Yep, 6 ISS Jelly right there from the epic chest. And then, of course, I'm gonna pull this one. And that's going to give me an auger and an enterprise I can work on scrapping. Obviously, the rare or the epic directives are super valuable. Let's collect all these. But for me, the main way that I get them is from Armada chips. You can also supplement that with territory, which some people do so they can do their scrapping and stuff. Yeah, there you go. That's grinding away. Still need to finish grinding this one so I can max it. It needs 11 more levels. You know, that's honestly strong enough. I could probably throw it in. I could maybe throw that into the... Let's go see. I'm curious. Can I throw this in against those Texas? A little weak, but it's worth a shot. Also, 2 more ISS jellies waiting to get built up so they can get scrapped. So yeah, that's how I get my ISS jellies. Where is the system? Your rage spent to 63 today? And found out the uncommon G6 ship is poo-poo. Well, you should have talked to me. I could have told you that beforehand. But congratulations on hitting 63. Congrats. Will they consider removing the fusion rod requirement for switching FT versus paying them to unlock the slot? I mean, I don't know of them considering that right now. Yeah. If you're doing the jelly scrap loop, isn't the G4 Epic Armada chest worth the pull for the Enterprise A? I mean, I guess it could be, but I'm not going to waste it because I just don't run enough Armadas to fuel all of them. To be honest, I just don't run enough Armadas to fuel all the chests. So if I ran more Armadas and I was better about that, then the answer would be yes. I just simply don't run enough Armadas. I don't. But you're right, that could be beneficial if you can afford to do those pulls. Because I can't afford to do all the pulls, I don't worry about it. What to do to skip the 63? I mean, I could have warned you that it's, you know, a money pit that has almost no value in terms of usability until you significantly tier it up. A lot of people tend to just get it so that they can have the next tier on their 4Q, which means taking it to tier 6. All right. Just wondering, what is your ship materials efficiency at? I mean, I don't have it memorized. I'd have to go pull it in a Spox Club to know that. Oh, why do I have so many lead expeditions? All right, let me see if I can actually fuel another lead expedition. Why do I have so many? Survivor, don't have anybody set up yet. Intimidating, don't have anybody. Impulsive, I know I got that. Sure. I have so many though. All right, Anyway, what tier of Talios is a good time to start pulling cred? The faction cred? I would say when it's the maximum tier for your level. Always prioritize upgrading the Talios first. Always prioritize upgrading it first. And then once you've managed that, then I would switch it over. Get Harry Mudd in there, calculated, nobody. Attack. I'm not going to use con. We'll do that. We'll do that. All right, just keep on moving. For the heck of it, why don't we try this one out? Won't hurt. Worst that can happen is we critical. And it's only a 1-day one, so I don't have a surveyor. Do I have an augment handy? I do. 63% to get a little bit. Hey, try it out. See what happens. Ship mastery should include skins. Good idea / bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea, but I would honestly just want the skins all added into the amalgam loop. Truthfully, that's what I want. I want all the skins added into the amalgam loop. I think it's long past due, way past time. That would be my big thing. I want all those updated into the amalgam loop. Am I right that there's no sourcing for the G4 uncommon chip skins? Depends on which one you're referring to. Depends on which one. We go ahead and do this. Let's just do that one. Nope. And let's just go back to attack. Grab, grab, grab. Done. All right, got my away teams done. Let me check my daily events. And I have not done most of them. All right, now that I realize that, I'm going to go grab this and go do my freebooters real quick. Is there a chart to show you what systems in mirror space the Enterprise E loot goblins spawn in? You can pull it up on STFC.space. That's the easiest way. Every time somebody asks me that, I just pull up the STFC.space window. But you can do that on STFC.space. If you need me to show you how, I can. All right, let's go here. Hit these hostiles. Why is it 300,000 loot for 80 to 20 assimilated amalgam shards? Simple, because they put a high premium on things that they think they can make people buy. So if they make it painful, that makes it more likely somebody buys it to skip the pain. And that's just the basic logic of why anything works. See how much I'm getting in this hit. How much am I getting for letting these smack my face? Yeah, I can live with that. Get this thing maxed out quickly so I can scrap another ship. Are there any logs yet? Full Q crew? Nobody has the full Q, so there's no way to have those logs. Nobody has full Q. What else we got, chat? What else we got? We're right around our wrap-up time, so just want to grab a couple more. And then it's time to put my kid to bed. Daddy duty. Then tomorrow, we've got some content lined up for you. And then, of course, tomorrow night, PvP Arenas. PvP Arenas. I'm very curious to see how the new matchmaking is set up. 20 hours and 30 minutes until Arenas. Hopefully, I make it to Silver 2 or even Silver 1. That's be my goal. A little bit tougher for me because I don't run it in voice chat, which is definitely the optimal way to do it. But still going to try my bestest. All right, let those grind out. And I have no idea where my hostile limit is today because I did not track it. But we'll see where it ends up being. Check my research. I did get some research stuff we can spend in. Do that. Good evening, Keith. First time I ever make the stream live. Well, welcome in. Glad you're here. I saw you had a question earlier. So, but glad that you're here, Keith. Let me scroll back over here real quick. Honestly, I am kind of ready for this. I just don't really want to do it. I am kind of ready for it, though. I really am ready for it. All right, let's do this. Get that upgraded. And do these. Here we go. Finally pulled the trigger on level 40. Still don't think I'm strong enough, but screw it. Hey, if you're not ready, well, when you get there, we'll try to help you out. So if worse comes to shove, push comes to shove, we can help you. That's something we always try to do. We always try to help you out. All right, let me go hit this. Get close to wrapping up this daily. And that is our time, y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. Hope you had a good time. Hopefully it was an informative episode. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Live long and plunder. Stay safe out there. Deuces. I'll catch y'all all tomorrow. Thank you to everybody who's hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button on your way out. I hope you have a wonderful day. Love and appreciate every single body here. Every single person here, by the way. And that's it for me. I'm running out of time. I'm going to roll out. See you tomorrow.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.